Hello and welcome to another update video about Sand. It's been nearly 3 weeks and we want to take a look at what happened with Sand, the Sandbox. Obviously the metaverse cryptos were hammered down. Yeah, they suffered quite a bit. And before we go and take a look at the Sandbox TA, let me show you what I said in the last video, which is now 3 weeks ago. So the downside potential is getting much more real. Of course, we are just starting again at a very important support level, and that's always an important, a potential opportunity, a pullback, yeah. But bear in mind, we don't really see volume at the moment, so it is risky to go long here, but it's a possibility for anybody who wants to do it. I think what we could happen here, however, is because we are so close to the support level again, it is a head and shoulder that might be forming here. So you have your left shoulder here, you form your your head here, and this might now become a right shoulder. So the imminent price potential that we have is to get to this 345 level, that previous high, that resistance level also here, where we could not get above in a sustainable way. So if this happens, and if we start to see an uptrend and bounce off that 345 level again, then come down again to the neckline here at 263. Yes, I think then we have a head and shoulders that has played out. Well, it only will play out if we break down, and that would be a breakout below this 263 level. It would take us to the 147, 150 level. So let's take a look how far down we actually came. Obviously that head and shoulders played out. However, we didn't come that high. I don't think we did go to 350. Let's take a look. And no, we did only make a very weak right shoulder. As you can see, we still had that right shoulder on the chart here. So let me take that out. I also take the yellow box out because that was an old target area which we obviously reached. We're back in the blue box, which is the higher level target area that was originally reached and set. That was reached, triggered, but we've even made now a lower low, and we zoom out in a minute. As you can see here, in terms of the price target for that head and shoulders pattern, you also should always take these with a pinch of salt anyway. I often mention that in the videos, but well, we haven't reached it yet. I will leave that on the chart, and we can take a look going forward if we're actually going to reach that. I don't know what happened here with that MACD just now. There you go. If we're actually going to reach here that 150 level at some point, but we already came down to 185. So I think the warning in the last video was absolutely at the right time. Yeah, was absolutely at the right time. We could see here some kind of a bearish sentiment forming, a bearish breakout to the downside. We did only move up to $3.11, and that was our ugly right shoulder. As you can see, it didn't even have the power to lift the right shoulder in any way, only very weak. But yeah, left shoulder, head, right shoulder, sort of. And then we broke down, and as you can see here, the 260 level that I mentioned, when we broke that, we had an engulfing red candle, very bearish, and another engulfing red candle, counter reaction, but another engulfing red candle. So it's looking like that downtrend isn't over yet. We even fell below the 78.6% Fibonacci level, and we still have space here in the current scenario to drop to $1.50. This is the 88.7, it should be. It says 88.2, doesn't make any difference, but let me just change that here on the, I don't know why it says 88.7, of course, yeah, Fib level. So, but that is it, 146, doesn't really make a difference. Okay, so yeah, at the moment, a lot of downside pressure here. You can see that there was an attempted counter reaction, but that was only there in my view because we were so much oversold. On the 2-day chart, let me go to the 1-day chart. I know a lot of people waited here for an update, but pretty much sometimes, as I said before, when you're waiting for an update, just take a look at the old video. It just explains what we did. Head and shoulders couldn't move higher here, broke below support, still waiting for that 150 level, which I think is quite realistic given where we are at the moment. The reason for that is we dropped below the 226 level, which is the 78.6% Fib level, and the next one is now the 88.7% Fib level. At this point in time, this looked at the time like a first impulse. The market didn't use that opportunity. There was an opportunity for the market to use it. Didn't work out. I myself went long here at I think at $3, because it was looking like the beginning of the next wave. Didn't work out. You know, losing trades belong to the business. They are part of trading as well. Overall, yeah, let me take those waves out because they get a bit annoying if we have too many of them on the chart. So Let me take that out. That obviously is invalidated. Yeah, as I mentioned before, when we drop below that 260 level, the uptrend is absolutely invalidated. The good news is though, that we can see here, well, that probably isn't finished, obviously, yeah, so the wave C is much longer. But what we can now see on the chart is here we form some kind of a descending wedge, I think. We can at least put that on the chart here. We've got 3 touch points up there, got 2 touch points down here. It's, however, a huge wedge, so we have still more space in this wedge to move up and down, yeah. Sandbox is quite a volatile cryptocurrency, obviously at the moment getting quite hammered down, just finding support here around the $2 mark. Again, psychological level, I don't think the downtrend is over yet. I see we could drop to the 150 level, 146. That would be quite realistic. For now, we are holding support here at this descending trend line, as you can see. And at the moment, there is no bullish signal. For example, daily MACD heading further down. There was an attempted bullish crossover here. Yeah, we were reducing negative momentum. It has been invalidated, or it has been stopped. Here we were oversold. That is why we had that counter reaction. But overall, we're making lower lows here and lower highs. Let's take a look at how is the 4-day chart looking. Also, that has turned down again. So there isn't the bullishness in the chart, yeah. And all that huge pump that we had end of last year just needs to be corrected down. That's just what happens. But what you can see here short term is also a downtrend within the downtrend. So let's take a look at that. You can draw that trend line, and there you go. You have a smaller descending wedge. Possibly we can even do it like that. And this means we're getting very close into the apex now, and that could be an interesting breakout opportunity, an interesting trade setup here. That could complete the wave C, obviously, and after that we could move up in a wave 3. But we first of all, at least, would need to move above the last significant swing high here at $3.90. Only above that, in my opinion, we can see sustainable new breakouts to the upside. Until then, we are sort of still caught here. The immediate downtrend obviously could be broken by first of all breaking out of the wedge to the upside and then breaking above the previous swing high, which is here the 244 level here in on the smaller scale, yeah, 244. Then you can already talk about a potential breaking of the short-term downtrend, and then next level after that would be here around the area of 290, 295, and then we come to the $3.90 level. But my view is, even if we get some short-term upside here, and I think that is quite realistic because we were quite oversold, we now see here a little bit of upside, also on the RSI at least, yeah, even though the MACD is still turning down, but it's a bullish pattern that we can see, and we always need to wait for the breakout anyway, yeah, so I can't tell you now we go up or down, we need to wait for that signal in the market, but these patterns allow us to identify an edge in the market, to give us that opportunity, that moment that we can identify where a potential breakout can happen, and that could happen fairly quickly here. So keep an eye on the Sandbox chart. Downside potential is certainly there to 146, but first of all, we could break to the upside in line with this bullish pattern here, and it could take us in the first instance to 245. That is quite a bit of a move from where we are. $2 to 245 is not too bad, and then the next step would be around, yeah, here in that sort of range around 280, 285, 290. Good, that's my view about Sandbox. Hopefully you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, check out the channel membership and maybe even check out the trading course that I currently publish on my website, morecryptoonline.com. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.